Hey, Francesca, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. It's so nice to see you. You always have the cheeriest smile. It's one of my favorite things about getting on the calls with you.
Thank you.
Oh. To get started, can you just tell everyone kind of who you are and what you do?
So, I'm an attorney at a boutique mid-sized intellectual property firm, and I am an associate in our IP transactions department.
Can you talk a little bit about why you hired me? What brought you to me?
I came from a background where I am young in the practice and came in with a little bit of baggage, having to unexpectedly move firms after being laid off very, very early into my career, and came to my second firm, the place where I am now, with more anxiety than I was expecting. And it was impacting my ability to do work efficiently, confidently, really to the best of my ability. So I realized that the thing that was getting in my way at being successful in my career and just generally being happy was me. And I wanted someone to help me figure out how I could get out of my own way to be the best version of myself and
Mhm.
perform the best at work in a way that was just low stress, get the work done, get out, go do whatever else I wanted to do with my life.
So, could you talk a little bit about how did coaching actually help you solve the problem?
Coaching helped me solve the problem because I think first and foremost, I was identifying the thoughts that I was telling myself that were getting in the way of my doing my best work.
Mhm.
So, I mean, the first thing we did, I think for a lot of times I would come into work and I would feel cloudy, I would feel anxious, and I wouldn't be able to identify what what I was feeling and particularly why I was feeling it. So it
Mhm.
was really helpful to be able to spot negative thought patterns as they were coming up. And
Mhm.
then not only after figuring out how to identify them and connecting them to the related feelings, figuring out replacement thoughts, better thoughts that helped at least move me forward. And then as our work continued, to be able to figure out even positive, really empowering thoughts that made me feel confident and more bold in my
Mhm.
work.
Yeah. So, what would you say is different in your life now than before you started coaching?
Definitely have a lot less anxiety. It doesn't mean that it doesn't come up still, but it means that I always feel empowered in some way. I have some tool to deal with whatever problem comes up.
Mhm.
It means I can figure it out for myself. So it's meant that I've gone out of my way to find new work that I was too scared to find before. It means that I turn my work around more quickly. It means that I enjoy work more than I used to. It means my relationships with the partners that I work most closely with really have noticeably improved since I've started coaching.
Awesome.
It just seems like everything is better than before
Mhm.
drastically, and then I'm significantly less worried about anything that comes down the pipe at me because I have a tool with which I can handle any anxiety, any problems that kind of come up with me, any bad things that I continue to tell myself. I can turn the situation around a lot quicker and just keep moving forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is what I really love about coaching, right? Is like the reason you be able to become more bold and fearless is because you know you can deal with whatever comes at you, right? It's like
Yes.
not just solving the current situation. It's like, well, I can take a risk now because I know how I'll deal with it if I feel scared or I feel sad or whatever is going to happen, right? Like I
Mhm.
have the tools to deal with it. Totally.
Right.
Um, Tell me a little bit about, do you feel like your relationship with yourself has changed at all through this process? And what has that been like?
Yes, it has. I I can't stress enough how how my confidence has changed
Mhm.
since I've started coaching. Really, not even. I mean, it at work is one thing. It's just my ability to do the work, to work with people here so much better. But it's made me more confident in other areas of my life.
Mhm.
I feel more comfortable in networking situations. I feel more comfortable in managing what is inevitably like um, a work-life balance at home. You know, we're busy at work, but we're also busy at home. We have busy social lives. We have a lot of demands on us at home. If you're exercising or eating or whatever, I just have more confidence to handle more things.
Mm-hmm.
I can do more. I worry less about it. It's I've felt more confident in myself, and I've just been more content, more peaceful
Mm-hmm.
about all areas of my life. And I know that's a relation to the external world as well, but
Yeah.
I feel calmer. I can't articulate that enough.
Yeah, I know it's hard because it's like we look kind of the same, but what's behind the scenes can really change. Yeah.
Right.
What did you like best about working with me or the method that I use?
What I also really liked is that you mix empathy and and no nonsense. I feel like there have been times where I've been very emotional on our calls, and I've cried because working on some of this stuff is it's really personal. And it's hard. You struggle with it. So I've cried, and I cried a lot of things, but sure, I cried, and you were really patient with me and empathetic, and didn't make me feel silly for having the feelings, whatever feelings I was feeling, if at the, which I really appreciate. But then there are times where you would call me out on using the wrong word, or holding on to a thought too long when I really should just let it go, or just anything that I was doing that was hindering my improvement, my moving forward. You very, very gently, and usually in a way that made me laugh, called me out on that.
Okay, so just one last question. What would you tell anyone who's thinking about working with
Don't think twice about it. Like, do you want to be miserable forever, or even just miserable a little bit, or do you want to be brave and face whatever thoughts you're telling yourself, and honestly move forward with yourself, with your career, with your own personal life, in a way that, to a degree that I think, at least for me, I never could have imagined, and probably more than you ever could have imagined. Get out of your own way, be amazing, and it'll happen. I mean, if you do the work, it'll happen faster than you really ever think it will.
Oh, I just got chills. I love that. Yeah, brave and get out of your own way, and dream big, have that life you want. I think that's what I'm in the business of doing, really.
Absolutely.